Yeah, so having a strap handy or some kind of long piece of cloth or a band, you can set that aside for now. And of course, the blocks, if you have yoga blocks, using those for a couple of things. And make any adjustments to your posture so that you're both feeling supported yet comfortable. Maybe taking those deeper breaths. And if you feel like sighing or yawning, just let that come through naturally. Another slow breath. See if you can slow it down. And if there's any kind of intention or goal that you have today, bring that to mind. If it's an affirmation, say it to yourself a few times. Or you could say something like, I am enough, or I am whole, I am healing, anything like that. And then we'll start to move. So blinking open your eyes, you can wiggle your fingers and your toes. Bring your hands onto your thighs, sitting up nice and tall with a straight spine, a flat back, leaning a little bit forward and leaning back. Legs are out, hip width distance or more, mine are a little bit more. Bring your feet out a little bit wider. Shift side to side. So keeping a lift through the belly to support your spine. Sit up tall. Bring your fingertips inside of your knees so that your elbows can bend out as you start to circle around through the hips. If you're hitting the back of your chair, you might want to scooch forward. Going in one direction a few times, and then the other direction. Lubricating the hip joints. Good. And finishing up, coming back to center. Sit up tall. Bring your feet a little bit closer together, but about hip width distance apart. Sit up tall. Inhale, reaching those arms up. Exhale, float them down. Inhale, big breath, expanding through the lungs and chest, and exhale down. Inhale, reach it up and down. One more time. Big reach. And cactus your elbows. Open up through your heart center. Good. Reach your arms out to the sides as high or as far as you can in either direction. Flip your palms up and flip your palms down. Maybe the thumbs point down to the ground. Flip your palms up. Moving through the shoulders, thumbs down and back, thumbs up and palms up and down. Just release all of that tension in the arms, shake them out, shake them out. Yeah, wiggle, wiggle. And then bring your hands down to your knees, the backs of your hands. And we'll be doing these slow thumbs to your index fingers. But then when you open your hands wide, I also want you to reach your hands out so you straighten your elbows. And then bring your thumbs to your middle fingers. And feel that good connection, little pressure. And then open up wide. Thumbs to ring fingers. Open up wide. Thumbs to pinkies. And check it out, make sure they're cooperating. And open it up wide. Starting into some cat and cow movements, rounding the spine, bringing your chin to your chest, pull your hips back, and pull your belly in a little bit. Just feel that stretch on the back of your neck. Inhale, sitting up, coming into cow. Pull the elbows and shoulders back, lift your chest, round into cat. Nice and smooth, make the transition smooth. Smoothly lifting up to cow. And exhale, rounding into cat. Inhale to cow. And to cat. You can do that at your own pace as well. 1 or 2 more times. And finishing up in cow with our heart lifted, chin lifted, and relax. And have your strap handy. Maybe if you like using the blocks, you could bring those blocks in. Feet on the blocks. And starting by curling the toes over the ends of the blocks. So if you have shoes on, you might want to take them off, or you can always just press your toes into your shoes or the floor if your feet are on the floor. Then I like using the fingers too, so I'm going to kind of mimic what my toes are doing with my fingers. A light pressure, nothing too strenuous. And then open them up wide. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Lightly grip the ends of the block. Feel that connection, all of your toes, not just your big toes. And then open slowly like flower petals, and wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Let's do that again. So light curling or hugging. Slowly open them up and wiggle. Just getting some movement into those toes and fingers. And then go ahead and bring the balls of your feet onto the block. Hands or forearms on your knees. As you lift your heels, just feel that engagement. Feel your toes stretching in the opposite direction than what we just did. And then a slow, smooth descent as your heels come down. Try to press those heels down. I like to kind of rock side to side to rock into one of them and then the other. Lift your heels. Just keep that natural breath going. And then slowly let your heels come down as you try to smooth that movement out. Pressing your heels down, getting an extra stretch if you're using the blocks. And one more time, lift those heels up. So we're contracting the muscles, a lot of different muscles in the feet and calves. And now we're teaching them how to release smoothly. Coming down, taking your time, and letting it go. We'll do some stepping movements. So out, out, and in. And of course, you can help one or both legs as they come up, coming up and down several times. And maybe bringing in that alternating arm swing. Having a hard time getting it going. There we go. And if you are leading with one foot all the time, then see if you can switch it up. So I was going right foot first, and I'm gonna try left foot first. All right. And I'm having some coordination issues today. All right. And good arm swing to get those shoulders warmed up a little bit more. If you don't have blocks, you're just stepping in and out. All right, so bring your feet out to the sides, fairly wide if you are using blocks. And then choose if you want maybe to set your blocks up a little bit higher. We're going to use them as an obstacle to step over. Just make sure you have enough room on one side for both of your feet to come to the side of the blocks. So we're stepping over and together. Stepping over and together. Again, you can help your legs out, pull them up and over. If you're kicking the blocks too much, then bring them down to a lower setting. And you can also, then maybe bring your arms up and open them wide and bring them together. Open wide. Good. Big stretch each time. Breathing. Couple more. Nice. And then come back to center. Go ahead and move your blocks out of the way. Stepping, kind of pointing one foot out to the side, and then bring it back into center. And then step and center. And you could do some kind of an arm movement with it. Reach, center, reach. You might need to scooch on your chair a little bit. Good, so we're gonna slow it down. And this time, stay here, hold, and then bring your hand down to that bent knee. The other hand can just kind of rest there. And then maybe you come down further. Notice if you can feel a stretch on that inner thigh. If you need a deeper stretch, maybe you even reach your hand down toward the floor. But that's only if you want to go that deep. Take a deep breath or two. And then inhale, lift up through your torso as you rise. And bring your foot back in. Stretch to the other side. Big stretch. Really reaching through that leg. Your knee doesn't have to be straight. Hand or forearm down to your bent knee. And you can stay right there or maybe reach to the floor. Deep breaths, slowing your breath down. Good. Inhale as you rise up. Bring your foot back in. All right, so go ahead and get your strap and bring it underneath one foot. Kind of under the ball of your foot if you can. And we're gonna use it to extend and bend several times. So first, just using it as some support. And really take care of your hands while we're doing this. Sometimes using one hand, wiggling the fingers of the other, and changing that up. Sometimes that helps. And then hold your foot out there and imagine that you're pressing a pedal, the gas pedal. Going faster, or maybe it's the brake. So pressing into it and then releasing. But also see if you can kind of pull back on your foot. And then press into it and pull it back. Press and pull. One more. Just walk your hands down the strap to that point where you feel the stretch. If you want to increase that stretch for a moment. And then let your foot come down, tap it out. And come on over to the other side. So ball of your foot. So bend and straighten a few times. And that just gives this movement that we normally do without a strap a little bit different resistance to it. Hold your foot up and then point or press into the strap and pull your toes back. Press, let it go. Press, let it go. Press and let it go. And then if you need that deeper stretch for your hamstrings, Slide your hands down the strap a bit. Still sitting up tall. Another deep breath and let it go. Actually grab 2 blocks. So the block can be any amount, and yeah, Chad, perfect. You can go like this, or you can even put your fists together, whatever feels best. Sit up tall, pressing your knees either together or into the block, and then pressing hands into the block. I'm gonna count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. So we're just doing 3 of these. You can wiggle your legs, let it go. But in between, we're gonna do something else. So bring the blocks onto your thighs. If you don't have blocks, just place your hands on your thighs. Bring your legs out a little bit wider so that your belly and your torso can lean between the blocks or your thighs. And then see my elbows out here, they're kind of flapping. I want your elbows to be back. And you're pressing your palms into the blocks or the thighs, getting some strength into those arms, and then press yourself up with your hands. Good. So let's do that whole thing again. Block between your knees, block between your hands. So counting again, 5, 4, squeeze your legs together, 3, squeeze your hands together, 2, and release. Nice. Place the blocks right here, knees out wide. Lean forward, but remember those elbows kind of press into your torso behind you, like little chicken wings. And you're really pressing a lot of weight into the hands. You might even be shaking, I am at least. And then inhale as you press yourself up. We're gonna do it one more time. All right, so block between the knees or the thighs. If it hurts the knees, you could always put it between your thighs, between the hands. And make sure you're pressing both the knees together and the hands. Sometimes it's hard to stay focused on both. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Ooh, good. Last one of these, I call it, it's kind of like a plank in a way, or a push-up, but just holding it, leaning forward, pressing your weight into your hands. Breathing, then inhale, lifting up. Nice. If you have a drink, this is a good time to take a drink. Okay, so we did a lot of hip work already. Got the hips warmed up. So we're just gonna go ahead and pick one knee up, lean back, see if you can pull that leg up and in. Maybe point and flex a few times. Bring your ankle over your knee, figure 4. Massage your calf. So I was at a training all last week except for Monday, and my teacher reinforced that the calf is the second heart, and there's as much blood in the calf as there is in the heart, and it's meant to be pumping all of that blood and fluid. But you know, if we sit a lot, or if there's any disconnection in this area that doesn't allow it to get pumped, it's really good to use your hands to do that. And if you need that deeper stretch, leaning forward and or bringing your chin to your chest. A little lean to one side or the other can feel good. Another deep breath. Trying to release tension. Tension in the body or tension in the mind. On an inhale, lifting up, rock your leg a few times. And step your foot down. Take a couple more of these bending and extending movements. Hold your foot out there or place your heel on the ground and just take a lean forward. Just a couple of moments and release. Good. Come on over to the other side. We're going to pick that knee up, hug it up and in, leaning back, point and flex. Bring your ankle over your knee, massaging. Could even be your shin, or you know what? I forgot on the other side. I learned this kind of new movement where you take your hands and go in opposite directions around your ankle. So try that, see if you like that. It just helps to get more lubrication into the ankle joint. You can compare the side we didn't do with this side. And then little by little, leaning forward if you need that stretch, maybe bringing your chin to your chest. Deep breaths. Keeping your mind focused on your breath or your body or maybe your intention. I am enough. I am whole. I am healing. Inhale and lift through your belly as you rise up. Rock your leg a few times. Step your foot down, extend and bend. Holding your foot out in front or heel on the ground as you reach toward your toes. And release. Good. All right, so bring your feet out further. We're going to do our five-pointed star, goddess pose to five-pointed star. So sitting up nice and tall, hands to heart center, and then reaching those arms out and kicking those feet. Big five-pointed star, maybe even circle your arms and your feet around. And then back to goddess pose, sitting up tall, hands at heart center. Take a deep breath, and then we'll do that again. So inhale, reaching, woo, and just enjoy kind of the freedom and fun of this pose. And bring it back to heart center. So we're gonna do a shooting star to one side. So kind of step into that one side, lean and reach, and maybe kick the other foot out, wiggle your fingers, and then bring it back to center. And over to the other side. Reach and kick. Wiggle your fingers. Bring it back to center. Nice. Bring your hands to your knees and then see if you'd like to take a wide-legged forward fold. So elbows could be on your knees. You could slide your hands down to your feet or even hang on to a block. Maybe, if there's no blood pressure issues, maybe bring your head down. Releasing through the neck. Taking some deep breaths. Stretching those inner thighs, hips, low back. then just lift your head. If you have your blocks, bring them out in front so your hands are on the highest setting of the blocks. Just make sure you feel stable there. Reach those blocks out a little further in front and see if you can get into a deeper stretch. The other option here would be to come up, bring your legs together or closer together if they're out too far. And if your knees are right underneath your belly or maybe kind of to the sides, you might feel a little different, deeper stretch into your low back, shoulders, maybe bring your head down. And again, just lifting the head first, bringing your elbows to your knees, taking your time on your way up, especially if there's any lightheadedness. I like to take a deep breath and then sit up nice and tall, supporting yourself. Good. Inhale, reaching up. And bring one hand down to your opposite leg. Let's take a side stretch, reaching up and over. Inhale, both arms up. Other arm down, hang on to that opposite thigh, reaching up and over. Side stretch. Inhale, both arms up. And then open up to one side. Front hand to your knee, back hand resting on your chair behind you. Look off to the side, sit up tall through your torso. Keep your shoulders relaxed. See how far back you can look without any pain or strain. Turn just your head to look forward over your other shoulder. Maybe tip your chin down if you like that stretch. Lift your chin, look back again. You can do some eye yoga, look around, open your eyes wide, or blink several times. Slowly release and come back to center. Inhale, reaching your arms up and cactus. Inhale, reach up. Open up to the other side. Front hand to your knee, back hand rests on your chair. Look off to the side or further back. Again, maybe some eye yoga, looking as far back as you can with your eyes. And then turn just your head to look forward. And maybe look out of the other corner of your eyes as far as you can. And then tip your chin down gently. Lift your chin and slowly look back again. Releasing, coming back to center. Inhale, reach. Exhale, cactus. Good. Bring your hands to heart center. Take a rounding through the spine, aligning the spine again, chin to chest. Then opening your arms up wide. Exhale, diving forward. Inhale, hands to heart center. Let's do that one more time. So take a nice deep breath. Exhale, dive. Inhale, open. Exhale, dive. Inhale, hands to heart center. Rocking motions, so you can keep it right here in your chair, or if you'd like to take some stand-up sit-downs, feel free to do that. You can also just completely slow it down and just come into a chair pose. So you choose which one you want to do. And even sitting in your chair but leaning forward as if you were going to stand up puts a lot of pressure in those thighs. Keep a lift through, just breathing. And eventually sitting down. And sit back, kick your legs out or tap your feet. You can even pump your arms and take a little run. So one more time towards standing. And that rocking motion. Make sure you feel stable. Coming to the back of your chair or to a table, something to hang on to. All right, so take a few step together movements. Step together, coordinating your feet. Step to the side and together. Good. So many times in life we have to be able to step to the side safely. And then try some kind of step and either lifting, kicking, or maybe your knee lifts. I'm gonna do my knee lift and maybe a little tap. Face your chair or your table. Step 1 foot behind and 1 foot is in front. Just a little bit. We're gonna rock, shifting our weight from our back foot to our front foot. And then this time, go back to the front foot. See if you can lift the back foot and hold. And then step back, front, and lift. Maybe a little higher. Step back, front, and hold it longer if you can. Use those glute muscles, your low back muscles, a little bit of balance too, even if you're hanging on. And then relax. Change feet, and you're stepping back and forward a couple of times, just to get used to that. Notice how this side is, and then if you can, lift that back leg, test it out. Step back, forward, and lift, maybe higher. Step back, forward, and then this time, longer hold, as long as you're feeling stable on your standing leg. Breathing and lowering down, nice and careful. Good. One more movement here. So I'm facing you again. Bringing your feet out wide and taking a bit of a squat. So just the first 1 or 2, make sure your knees are okay with bending. Your hand, if you're hanging on with one hand, you can bring the other to your heart. Or maybe you can bring both hands. Or you could even bring your hands down to your knees to support you there. Try a longer hold. So it could be hands anywhere. Just make sure your back is flat. And then coming up nice and slow. Sit back into your chair. Bring your awareness down to your feet. Imagine that you're breathing in and out through your toes. Releasing any tension in your feet through your toes. Bringing awareness to your hands. Breathing in and out through your fingertips. Releasing tension through your hands. Bring your awareness to your shoulders. Relax your shoulders and your neck. then bring your awareness up to your head. And imagine that you could breathe into your brain, breathe into every cell of your brain. Releasing tension, releasing thoughts of tension. Breathing in peace, breathing in kindness to yourself. Take a couple of deeper breaths again. Starting to wake yourself up and wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Maybe take a long body stretch, or you can feel free to stay on the ground longer if you want to. But if you're ready to get up and want to close out together, feel free to do that, making your way to a seated position. You could bring your hands to heart center, again, just in that acknowledgement of the light, love, teacher, and saying namaste to each one of you. Thank you all so much for your presence today, and take a big stretch when you do get up. Ooh, getting ready for a beautiful day.